Here we are, almost the end of January. This is so exciting. The new year's actually going great. Jason Ferkh, Century 21, is here to actually talk to us a little bit about the actual agreement of sales. We might not actually cover all 13 pages, but the important things. Jason, thanks for being here, man. It's great to see you. How's your new year coming?
My new year's going pretty well.
I love that.
Yes, I'm starting off strong, so we're going to finish strong.
Boom.
Yeah, first year was great. Learned a lot of things. A lot of do's and don'ts, actually. So it's a great opportunity to go over some of the things. What happened to me, I was working with the seller.
Right.
And he had satisfied the house. That means it was paid off completely.
Okay.
But it went through 2 mortgages.
Okay.
The first mortgage company actually misspelled his name.
Oh, no.
In the satisfaction.
Right.
So that could have happened from the original agreement of sale, that they
Anywhere.
saw it misspelled like that, or it could happen anywhere in between.
Right.
So unfortunately, we were unable to sell the house due to unclear title.
Oh, no. That's horrible.
Yes.
Misfortune. But, it's so important that as you're going through an agreement of sale, right, that not only do you double check, but you check against an actual state ID, right?
Yes.
And that the information for the buyers and the sellers are all correct.
So the most important things to pay attention to would be the first page where the house is, all the parcel numbers are correct and the county's correct. Another thing is to go over the inspections and to make sure that the buyer is actually doing his diligence to make sure he buys the property that's going to last him for quite some time and not have a leaky roof in the next year. Most important is finding the right title company to make sure that the property is clean and clear for you to move into it.
That's important.
So nothing comes back to you in the future.
For sure, for sure. So, all right, we're going to start with breaking this down, right? You have both the buyers and the sellers.
Correct.
That's the first party. Then the address, and you mentioned something about deed restriction, the books.
So yeah, so we'll go down to, for deed restrictions, if you go down here to the inspection page, right over here, starting on page 6, you go over all the inspections. You have your home inspection,
Okay.
your wood infestation inspection.
Okay. What else? What other
You have
inspections?
water and deed restrictions.
Okay.
So deed restrictions, you can have a professional come out from the county to let you know what deed restrictions you have on the property.
This is pretty detailed. I see that there's on-lot sewage. There's
Yes.
property and flood insurance. Obviously, things that you hear on a regular. Property boundaries. People are always. How does that affect a sale of the house in the city?
So that's a good question, George. Now, property boundaries. Some houses will have what appears to be a parking lot in the back, like a driveway.
Right.
But the property line ends right before that.
Oh.
So that's a good thing to check into. So if you're buying a house thinking, oh, you're going to get a driveway with it, but you're not going to.
There's so much to cover under the agreement of sale. If someone has any questions, right, in regarding inspections, regarding the time where everything should be done.
Yes. Time is of the essence. That's a good point that you brought up. So the real estate agent working with the buyer actually selects that time. And with that time, it gives the incentive for the seller to make a quick decision. So depending on how long of a time that you give them to make that answer, usually 24 to 48 hours is generous enough. And inspections have to be scheduled within the first 10 days unless the agent allows a larger span of time.
Very nice.
And after that, mortgage has to be selected right away. You pretty much have your mortgage selected and started before you even jump into the sale because you already have your pre-qualification, and most of the time it works out pretty well from there.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Jason, Matt, I really appreciate you coming over and talking about the agreement of sale. I know that we could actually sit here all day and go over, well, I get at least a good hour or so
At least,
and
yeah.
go over the agreement of sale. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming
My
in.
pleasure. Thanks
And
for having me.
remember the importance of having every single detail spelled out correctly and double checked as you're actually filling out the agreement of sale. Anything else that you want to add to that?
I think we hit all the basic points of this. Yeah.
Perfect.
For a more in-depth conversation about this. It's better for the buyer and the agent to sit down together and actually go through page for page. We'll be there for a little while doing that.
That's important. Thank you so much again for being here. It's great to see you.
Thanks, George. It's my pleasure.
Man,
Thanks for having me.
Happy New Year. Can we still say that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
you know, a prosperous, healthy 2019 to everybody. See you guys.